I like to put my money in lots of different locations, and I like real estate because it makes sense.
Do you currently make money while you sleep? Because for 50 some years, I had to trade time for dollars.
We're happy to help you. When you invest in a multifamily property, it's usually a 5-year hold period. This is the return of your investment during those 5 years, how much your money is gonna grow within those 5 years.
Your net worth is your net worth.
It's still better than me singing. Still better than me singing.
All right, let's get it started. Thank you, ladies, for joining us one more time. We're super excited. We prepared this webinar trying to add as much value as possible, always looking for ways to help you. So thank you so much for joining. We are in a mission to help 1 million women create generational wealth through real estate. But not only that, we also want to help you and inspire you to grow on every single aspect, personally, professionally, and spiritually. So buckle up, get ready. We're gonna get started.
I just love connection issues. This is just today.
It's okay.
It's so
Part
fun.
of it, right? That's the theme of the day.
This is the theme.
Dealing
Didn't you
with
know?
reality, dealing with life. There you go. All right. We're not in Facebook today because we have technical difficulties, but that's okay, right? You will see the replay and we will share it on our YouTube channel. You can always subscribe so we will be dropped. You guys can get it when we upload it. Disclaimer, every investment has risk. We are not legal advisors. We are not financial advisors. So please understand that there is risk on everything that you do. The higher the risk, the higher the return.
There you
And
go.
a brisket for the brisket. Anyways, okay, that was a really bad joke. Okay, let's get started. Massive Capital. She was brought to you by Massive Capital. Who's Massive Capital? We are a vertically integrated company that does commercial real estate. We have a portfolio of 1,600 multifamily units across Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, and Denver. We're also partnered with Realty One. They do new construction for retail centers. And we have combined over $500 million of assets under management across the states. We are vertically integrated. We have the education for people who want to buy deals, not just invest on them, but take their own deals. We have a really amazing mastermind that is more like doing deals together rather than go watch 100 videos on YouTube channel. It's all hands on. So if you want to check it out, connect with any of us. We'll be more than happy to help you. We have the construction company to build the retail centers, land development. We buy land and then build on that. We have property management in-house for the triple net properties. We have a brokerage for the triple net leasing and the equity. You will, Maria, Candace, and myself. Candace focus on the fund, on the funds. Maria helps people who want to start being GPs or getting into these deals by raising capital. So if you want to raise capital for these deals and get in the other side of the table as a GP or as a co-sponsor, connect with Maria. And if you want to invest your money or your retirement account, you can connect with me. So we are vertically integrated. That's a little bit about us. That's she.
This is all about us.
That's all of us. That's me. That's you. That's your sister, your daughters, everyone, right? Looking to start creating wealth. So we go to different cities, different events. Um, and we will share two upcoming events that we have this month. Super, super excited. So bear with us. And then we're gonna talk about real estate today. This is just the intro, so we can start getting some background and some stats of why we do shit, right? I'm gonna start with cash flow. Real estate is one of those assets that gives you cash flow. As women, we need different streams of income. And sometimes we have to do other things like raise kids, deal with businesses, or growing our career, or any other thing. So we need that income from cash flow. Long term appreciation. 81% of wealth is most women 81% of women keep their wealth in their bank account in cash. And that was me. I was just saving money and having my money in the bank making 0.001%. And I was like, okay, this is not making any money. I need to find a way to do something else. I didn't know what to do. So I was like, well, I figured something out. Let me buy a piece of real estate. And fast forward, here I am with 1,600 units later, right? It's just a start. I love I love everything about real estate. Candace, tell us about leverage.
Yeah. So my story and why I've invested in real estate is really the leverage story. The stat we talk about often here is that 43% of women typically have career breaks. And whether they're planned career breaks because you want to take time off and step away from your career or your business to raise a family, or in my instance, it was because I was a designated daughter. Many of us on this call end up being the designated daughter when aging parents need help, and that it was exactly my story. I unfortunately had to take care of my mom. She, unfortunately came down with chronic illness with cancer, and I had to step away. And when that happens, we need second and third and fourth income streams because all of us in today's world need to rely on our jobs or our businesses for income. And leverage is the reason why I jumped full time into real estate, because it provided me those additional income streams that I needed to help supplement the income so I could be with my family, my mother in particular, and help her in one of the hardest periods of her life. So leverage is a great reason for women to be involved in investing in real estate. Maria, tell us a little bit about your diversification story.
I love your leverage story, Candace, but it makes me think about what other aspects of real estate we can invest in. When I was growing up, I was told that you go to school, you get a good job, you marry a nice man, and then you invest in the stock market. That's what I was told, and that's where I was told to put all my money. When I didn't understand the stock market, I ran very fast in the other direction. Not that investing in the stock market's bad. I never want to tell you where not to put your money because remember from the beginning, I'm not a financial advisor. However, I like to put my money in lots of different locations and I like real estate because it makes sense. It makes sense to me. And I like to put it into different forms of assets. So I like new development. I like some really great assets like the one we're going to talk about today. I like assets that are multifamily. I like some that are self-storage. I like some that are maybe single family homes, maybe mobile home parks. I like different assets because I like to diversify my portfolio. So I like to see what happens, but I also love this statistic. I love and hate it, where it says that 70% of women have never met with a financial advisor, and it's a scary statistic, and I don't want to be that. So I want to encourage all of you to really think about your finances and where they're going and where they are diversified. So that's why I love talking about diversification. So I'll pass it to, don't know who's talking about tax benefits. I think it's Jasmine.
I am. Yes,
Okay.
I am. It doesn't matter how much money. What really matters is how. On this in the type of job that we do, we get to talk to a lot of high earners in the industry, on different industries, lawyers, dentists, all kind of professionals, and it's so sad that they make so much money and they are broke. It's like, how can you make that much money and be broke? Most of the part of most of one of the reasons is because they do not have tax library. Investing in real estate in multifamily gives you a huge tax advantage at the end of the year. And of course, not a CPA. Every person has different situations, but there are ways. At the end of the day, we give you a K1 and you can offset your income. Of course, there are ways not everybody qualifies and disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. But if you need to talk to a CPA, please do. But most importantly, talk to a CPA that understands multifamily, understands real estate investing. Because not everybody understands, and most of them they will tell you no, that's not possible, or they will just continue filing your taxes without getting all the benefits. So talk about it. If you need a CPA, we have a few in our network. We're not CPAs, but we love to hang out with CPAs. So just drop us a note, connect with us, and we'll be more than happy to introduce you to one of to all of them. I always give them like here's 5 CPAs. Talk to all of them. I don't make any money or anything. Like I want you to get value, and whoever makes sense to you, whoever you make me feel more comfortable, just go talk to them. So yeah, connect with us and let's get it started, ladies.
And now, here's someone you want to hear from, our sponsor.
For over 15 years, Skyline Title has been a trusted name in Texas real estate. From first-time homebuyers to seasoned investors, our team ensures a smooth, reliable closing experience every time. Backed by a decade of partnerships and proven success, we take pride in protecting your biggest investment, your home. Visit SkylineHTX.com to learn more.
This was just a very great way to start our webinar today. We became investors either by accident or because that's what we were looking for. I'm super excited to have Candace and Maria on this journey with me, not just as she, but as co-sponsors, partners, investing alongside each other. And, it's been an amazing journey. And we will get deep into what we have done, what we can do for you. That's the more important thing. We just share our story to tell you, not to brag, but just to tell you, girl, if I did it, everybody can do it, trust me. So super excited for today. Candace, tell us, I'm gonna pass it on to Candace. She's gonna give us the intro and then talk a little bit about one of our opportunities.
Yeah, thanks, Jazz. We're super excited to share with you an opportunity that we have called Horizon Apartments, as Jasmine was alluding to with the tax benefits. Because this is an apartment and what we call in the industry a value add property, it's a great opportunity for those who are looking to have an investment vehicle that's going to have bonus depreciation and all kinds of other tax benefits in this tax year. um, we are just super excited about the property and want to share it with you. Those of you that don't know, San Antonio is one of the highest ranking Forbes cities for the future, and also is the third fastest growing city in the nation. So San Antonio, which is not far from Austin. Those of you who've seen the rocket launching and relaunching of the rocket with the space X folks. I don't know who would be not knowing who Elon Musk is and all of the space stuff going on lately, but um, his whole organization moved to the Austin, San Antonio region a few years back here. And that obviously contributes to why we are super excited about this particular city, and got a great opportunity with a unique seller who had owned the property. And we had made an offer to them, and they were ready to retire. So we kind of got this on an off market situation and picked up this particular apartment at $82,000 a door. And for those of you not familiar with what that might mean, in that area, properties right next to them in the same quality and caliber are currently selling for around 95, 98, that kind of thing. So we picked it up, in my opinion, on a steal. We also had an assumable loan that we were able to take over, which allows us to basically come in, and the net operating income for this particular property was sitting at about $1 million even before we were taking it over and handing over the keys to us. And so there's a lot of things that we were able to position well to get the units, basically just prettied up, for lack of a better way of saying it. We didn't have to do a whole lot of capital expenditures to the property, and we picked it up on a steal. Another great reason why we like the area is because it's in a workforce housing community. So it's close to HEB. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that particular organization, but it's similar to like an Amazon. So they have different Frito-Lay, Pepsis, and those kinds of things that are all in this industrial area near this housing. So it's a workhorse property, in my opinion. So those are some of the great reasons why we're really excited about the property and where it's located.
Thank you, Candace. So yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, are you? Oh,
Yeah, I can
sorry.
talk a little bit. Yeah, I can talk a little bit about this too. We did take over the property, and we have closed on the property. So another benefit to investing in this particular property is, if it's the first time you've ever invested in commercial real estate or apartments specifically, some investor things to consider or to take into consideration when you're investing in a property is the risk that you might have in whether or not a general partnership that you're working with actually can close on the deal, because you're in a project with these particular people that you invest in for at least 3 years, typically 5 to 7 years. So you really want to know the people that you invest in, and hopefully you've gotten to know us over the last year or two. But what's even more important about who we are in Massive Capital specifically is this particular property is, I think, the 15th or 16th property that we've brought over the finish line. And why that's important is because some people, you can invest in their property, and then if they can't make it to the closing table and bring the finances to actually close on the property, they then have the dollars that you've invested sitting in, for lack of a better way of saying it, escrow. So you have to wait and get that money back, and then your money isn't working for you. This particular property, Horizon, we've already closed on. And so your money starts to work for you really on day one. And so that's the beauty of this particular property, is those who are investing with us at this point in the deal, your money works for you right away.
Thank you, Candace. One of the reasons why we decide to do that is because we can break it off for you. Either you're ready to invest, or you're considering in the future, or just buy your own deals. This will give you some knowledge on how to analyze the properties, how to talk to people, what questions to ask. So if you're ready, we're happy to help you. But if not, just take notes, absorb all the information, and we're happy to help you. When you invest in a multifamily property, it's usually a 5-year hold period. That what does that mean is that your money is stuck with us for 5 years. So, we usually try, that's why we like to connect with people and make sure it's not like your last money that you have in the bank account. The minimum to invest 50,000. If it's the last 50,000 that you have in your bank account, probably will be risky. But if not, then, this is how your money will look like in the next 5 years. I really like to break this down. The first year, you get this is projected cash flow. That's what we were talking at the beginning. Like we need income, we need streams of income. So when you see here projected cash flow, this is how much money you will be getting annually. That's our goal, of course. Risk and all that, and but on average, it's a 7% preferred return, 7% cash on cash. So the first year we're buying the property, we're dealing with all the risk. We are most important rehabbing the property. We will talk more about that. So that's why it's lower, because we're doing all the heavy lifting at the beginning of rehabbing the units, rehabbing the exteriors, cleaning the house, evicting all the people who are not paying rent and all that. So on the first year,
I could probably. Okay, then let's do it.
on the first year, so we're looking at 5,000 on as cash flow annually. Second year, 7,000. Year three, 8,000. Year four, 8,000, and 5 year, 9,000. Then we sell the property. We're buying those assets to sell them. This is the business plan with this one. So when we sell, that's when we make most of the money. This is when we're gonna double your money. So during those 5 years, you're only getting this cash flow. But on year five, we sell the property, and that's when the wealth gets created. Let's say you invested. This is thinking on 100,000. For the sake of math, you invest $100,000. This is the money that you get annually on distributions. The distributions are quarterly, and then we sell the property, and then you get the rest of the money, like you get a check for 7. So another really good thing to look at this is the preferred return. What does that mean for investors is that you will get the first money if things goes out, or knocking on door, on wood, you will get always the first money. The first profit on the property is always going paid to investors. So if you're investing on this deal or any other deal, just check that you are getting preferred return. Otherwise, it's getting split between the sponsors and the investors. But here, the first money always goes to investors. So it's a 5 year and it's a 70-30 split. I mean that the 70-30 means that you as an investor own 70% of the property and we own 30%. So within the 30% that we have and all our fees that we have, these numbers don't affect you. Everything is already here, considering our 30%, considering all our fees. And as I said, if things goes out, at least you will get your 7% annually, and the equity multiplier that we're IRR. This is the return of your investment during those 5 years. How much your money is gonna grow within those 5 years. So anything that you guys wanna add here, Candace or Maria, on the numbers?
I just want to make sure that everyone understands that there's always obviously risks, and these are projections. But again, the preferred return is all about making sure you see that we don't get paid until you get paid, and so that's usually the best way to say it. And so that's what the 7% preferred return is all about.
Another thing very important to mention here is, like, for example, right? We bought some properties and then everybody here what happened? Interest rates skyrocket, insurance, all these things happen in the market. Let's say we're not doing distributions for X, Y, or Z happens. At the end, where you're gonna make more money is when we sell the property. Like, you will we will catch up. Our goal is gonna be, we're gonna sell the property and we're gonna catch you up on this. And of course, these are like special situations. It happens. There's things that are out of our, but we always are gonna be looking to double your money in 5 years. And this is the most important thing. If you didn't, pay attention, if you didn't understand anything that I said for the last minute, this is the thing that I want you to pay attention. Let's say today you invest 100,000. In 5 years, our goal was gonna be to turn it 210,000. For the sake of math, we turn it into 100. Okay, in year 5, we return your money and you do whatever you want with your money. You want to buy a new car, new house, whatever, go on vacation, you can do it. But this is where it gets important. If you reinvest that money, now you're investing 200. If you invest on another deal like this one, 200 turns in 400. You reinvest, 400 turns in 800. And 101.6 million. And that's what we are trying to do here. Create wealth for the long term. We are here for long-term investments, because that is what is going to change your life. If you invest today, one investment, 100 turns into 200, it's not really going to change your money. But if you keep reinvesting that money, it's going to be a compound effect of your investment. And that's where we're going to create wealth and change the legacy, not just for us, but for everybody in our families. So, was that clear? Did you guys understand that?
That's the real leverage. That's the real leverage of real estate, really.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and we will get into that. If you have questions, please let us know. But we're gonna do this a little bit more interactive. Tell us, anybody here, ladies, do you have how many income streams do you have? Do you have businesses? Do you have a side hustle? Are you investing in real estate? Triple any kind of real estate? I invest in land. Tell us on the chat.
Yeah, put the number in the chat. That would be great to see.
Chelsea
has 2.
Okay.
One of my side hustles while everyone's writing and coming off of mute, one of mine is a Disney travel agent. And Jasmine knows that because I've planned one of her trips.
Yes, last year, we were looking at the family group chat. It's like last year we were leaving to Disney. It was my mom's 50th birthday, and I took my whole family to Disney, and Maria uh helped me plan everything. It was like 15 people. I can't
Wait,
remember. And I was
Jasmine,
like,
did you use cash flow to pay for that?
I did.
I actually think you
I
did.
actually, my real estate investments paid for my trip to Disney.
Did not mean to do that, but that just kind of
Commercial.
happened.
Oh, 2 plus 2. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the benefits of real estate, right? So yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Anybody else? Do
No
you
one
guys
wants to
have
share.
another business? Anything else? Any other streams of income? Military.
There you go. There you go. Love
Awesome.
that.
Love that.
I can share.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes. So it hasn't taken off just yet, but I'm in the process of, we have an in-law suite in the back of my parents' house, and we are renovating it and gonna put it on the market to be like a Airbnb, hopefully more like a midterm lease. But in the meantime, just putting it on Airbnb, and hopefully that can, crossing my fingers and praying to God that that'll start helping pay the bills. And my goal is to retire them, because my dad's a hard worker and he thinks he can work forever, but my goal is to retire them sooner rather than later.
How
I
sweet.
love
That's awesome.
that.
Thank
See,
you.
it's that story. I love that. I love that passion where you're going.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's hard though. It's hard. I
Mhm,
understand.
it is. So just to share like my little horror story real quick. In the process of remodeling it, they tore down like some walls and stuff and realized that we had termites. So the project turned into a much bigger, more expensive project, but it is what it is when you have old homes. So kind of a
True.
horror
I
story
understand.
there.
And we will talk about that because that's real.
That
Dealing
is
with
so real.
all the capex, and can you imagine like 400 apartments? We will get into that. Don't worry. I'm so glad that you shared because that's reality. So we will talk
Yeah.
about that. Thank you so much for sharing, Mary.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, Maria, tell us about appreciation. We talked at the beginning. Why is
I
it important?
I love talking about this one because there is a huge exit strategy. We've always talked about how properties can appreciate over time. And this one, and it's nice to be able to put a property to our examples. This one is exiting in 5 years, which will help you because if you invest in it, then you can get a certain projected return, which, like we said, it's all a projection. We do have the numbers, but because of the rates that we are looking at, we can project it at a certain cap rate, and that rate and the NOI, we've projected it at 6%, and that is pretty good in what we are seeing. We are underwriting it pretty. We're being very conservative is what I'm trying to say. We're very conservative with how we are underwriting it. So just in case something does happen, we do have a bit of a cushion when we are looking at our numbers. We're always hoping to make a home run out of our investments, but sometimes things happen, which is why we like to give ourselves a little bit of a cushion. And that's why we like to have an exit strategy. And it is an exit strategy because it's not the only exit strategy. So we like to have lots of options, and we have a 5-year exit. Usually we try to leave a property in 5 years. Some places or some deals will be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, because we really want to see that property go through the process. We don't want to pay for a roof twice. We don't want to pay for things more than once, because we'll leave that for the next tenants. We'll leave that for them to help improve the property. So there's a lot of things that we can do to the property, make some solid changes or maybe even minor changes that can improve the property and make it sell for an even bigger number. And the nice thing about this area is, as Candace was showing us, that it is around a great location. It's also like the HEB distribution centers. It's in a really great market for industry. There's a lot of locations, a lot of companies that have a huge supply of people. So we are needed here. We have a lot of people who need a place to live. It's a very nice location for that. I mean, it's not going to be very shiny like that. It's not a class A, but it is a workforce housing. And that's why I love it, because we're not just doing a few things and it'll just stay the same. We are really changing the dynamic of the property. And because we bought this and we went and we closed in it in February, and it is now October, you get to see the transition that has actually taken place from February to October. And that's my favorite part of this. So, in the first few pictures, you can see the pools have been resurfaced. So, I'm so sad you don't get to see what it was beforehand, but it was pretty ugly and it was kind of a hole. It was pretty sad. But we resurfaced the entire pool. We added some pool furniture, planted some little flowers, and now there's an actual place to sit. I know that seems like not a big deal, but putting furniture out made a difference. We now have our tenants coming out and getting to know each other and building that sense of community. It's a small change, but it makes big improvements in our community at Horizon. Even having pool lights so that there's something to be a little bit more desirable when it is dark outside. The pool furniture installation, again, it doesn't seem like a huge thing, but it does brighten up the location. They had this horrible cage, and I like to call it the bird cage. Trevor thought it was an eyesore. So it's this really old, ugly cage, and I thought it was either for birds or monkeys, not sure. But we removed it, and it does look better than this picture because we have upgraded it a lot, and it just cleaned it up, made it a little more light and bright. And that's what they say on HGTV, so I'm going to go with it. We've also upgraded all the signs and made them just more easily to read, and the signs have just brightened up the areas. People know where they're going. These are just small changes that we've been able to do in less than a year. We've resurfaced the parking lot. We've redone the roof on one of the buildings. There's a lot of buildings at Horizon, and we've been able to do that in less than a year. And these changes have made our tenants so happy to stay there. And now we get to focus on the inside. And that's my favorite part, because now we get to work on the parts for the tenants and keeping them excited to live there, because that's why we're doing this for them too. And if they're not happy, then they're not going to be really excited to take care of the property as well. There's going to be no sense of community and no sense of keeping it a place that everyone wants to be and a safe location for their families. So it's not only we're appreciating it for an exit, but we're also making this property a better place for the tenants and a better place for the surroundings and for their families as well. So it's cool that we get to see what's gone on, and we're actually able to still get into this property, still invest into this property, and see what has changed in a few months. So yeah. So we've done those signs. We've seen how much those signs have helped. There was a lot of confusion on where people were going. They didn't know where the leasing center is. Like I said, there's a lot of different buildings. If you're like me, I'm in Indiana, and we don't have a lot of buildings. We just have one big giant building. So that was a little different for me to see. So having those signs, having those locations of where the leasing center is, that has helped so many people. We have an Amazon delivery center now that has helped with packages, so that people can go at all hours of the day to get their packages from Amazon. They don't have to go right at 5:30 before it closes. It makes a difference. I want my packages. Now we have balloons. So now, question time. Have you ever invested in the stock market? And if so, what were your returns? You don't have to say how much you made. I just want to know the returns. And what investments have recently made you money? Stocks, bonds, annuities, Bitcoin, real estate. Again, you don't have to share how much you made. I just want to know what's been going and positive for you. I'd love to hear positive stories and what's going well. I'd love to hear what's going on for you guys.
And even like what hasn't been all right. It's like spooky months. So you lost money on Bitcoin. I have a friend who lost so much.
Okay, Jasmine, you can talk about the negative too.
Yeah, I don't wanna. Ladies, have you invested before your money? Tell us where you invested. Have you made money? Have you unmute yourself, please?
I know Candace just made some money in Bitcoin.
I did. I'm a hodler though. For those of you who never invested in crypto, that means I bought it a while ago, like 3, 4 years
Like
ago.
you actually dug for it.
And so as stuff like that goes up and down, you have to like hold. And women, actually, fun fact, are very, very good at not being emotional. So they tend not, on average, women tend not to be the kind of folks who buy high and sell low, which is always a recipe for losing money.
What? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Love that. Oh, that's good. Well, I'm glad you made some money on that one. But anyone else? Has anyone made money or have some horror stories they want to share or things that haven't gone well? Everyone's doing great. Got it. Noted.
Perfect. We love that. And even investing in your real estate or just pretty much investing passively when you somebody else trusting and you know hoping or doing your diligence, saying thinking that it's gonna go, it's a great investment, and it turns out it wasn't, or all those things. So it happens. That's what we always say. It's more important who you invest your money with than the property itself. You can have the best location, the best long terms, everything. But if the people who are managing the property on daily basis, who are doing all these renovations and getting rid of the people who don't pay, and keeping the property up to date and managing everything, the property can go out in a heartbeat. So it's so important that you know who you're investing with. And that's what Candace was saying at the beginning. That's why we invest in real estate, because we can see and we can go talk to the tenants. It's people who goes to work every day to pay your rent. You can go talk to the sponsors. You can people who have invested with me and hey Jasmine, what's happening here? Well, and I can give you an answer. I can find the answers for you. And that's if you invest in real estate, I mean in stocks, I mean good luck. If you have questions, why are you doing this? What happened here? But that's why we love real estate. But yeah. There's some comments on the chat already.
Well, I'm going to comment for Rosa because she invested in a deal today. We can't really talk about it on the call, but I know she invested in a deal today because I might have been one who helped her. So proud of her.
She
Proud of
did.
her. I know she invested today.
Yay! She invested in one of our properties today. And she invested in a property that is currently open for people who are friends and family with us. If you are not sure if you are an accredited investor, but you still want to invest, that's why it's so important that you build a relationship with any of us. So when we have this kind of offerings, you can be part of that. So I'm gonna put the link on the chat. Book a call with us, um, and let's just talk. We'd love to get to know you. All right, let's get ready because
Wait. We got some more in the chat. Sorry, Jasmine.
Okay.
Sorry, you want to read the ones in the chat?
You
Go
can
ahead.
keep it on this slide though. You can keep
Oh, okay. So we've got Jensic, is it Jenica? Has been investing in single family homes since 2009. Wow. Oh my gosh. You are awesome. I hope those are good things since 2009. Lisa said single family. Sandana said invested in 2 properties in the Baltimore, Maryland area. However, it was too late to close the deals and had partnered with someone, lost both deals. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I understand. We had to say goodbye to a deal a few months ago. That one was hard for me. I
It
know,
was
Candace, you said it wasn't emotional for women, but I'm the emotional one. I was sad.
I said they don't get emotional once they invest. So they're
Okay.
they're
Okay.
good at not riding the highs and buying high and selling low, is what I said.
There we go. There we go. Okay, good. I
And that's
wasn't
why
listening.
Maria doesn't invest in stocks, because she will be like, "Oh my god," and then she
Yeah, I
will
can't do
sell
it. I
everything.
can't invest in the stock market. It's too much for me. I need to talk to someone, clearly. And then And then McGinnis said, congratulations to Rosa. Woo!
Hey, Rosa.
Yeah, and then Lisa was asking about the minimum amount in this particular investment, which is 50,000. So reach out to us afterwards if you want to learn more about how to get involved. And that's a perfect segue for me to talk a little bit about our sponsor team and our track record. As I mentioned earlier, when I was talking about leveraging real estate for my own purposes so that I can I don't have to worry. Let's say that I don't have to worry if I have to step away for 6 months or 12 months for family reasons, right? And that's what real estate has offered me. But leverage can also mean you leverage someone else and you are simply the limited partner or investor because you've gotten to know a team well enough and you can see their track record bears fruit, as I say. And just to kind of reiterate a little bit more about Massive Capital and our Realty One partners, we have 6 full cycle deals completed. We have 21 deals to date. We've got 1,387 units under management. Massive Capital specifically has roughly $203 million of assets under management. When we add our sister corporation on our land development team, it takes us to almost $500 million. But those of you who have not had an opportunity to meet Schreier and Sanjay and Mike, they are the 3 principals, and us 3 ladies of Massive, who are the she community. We are minority equity partners, and they're the principal partners, just so you understand how our team works. There's a few others, Trevor and Jonathan, who are part of the Massive Capital Equity team, but there is a total of 6 of us on the screen and 2 of us that are in addition. One is an attorney, and those of you who attend any of our Wednesday webinars, you know who Trevor is. He's
The president of She.
Oh yeah,
Hello.
he's definitely the president. If you've ever seen him on here,
yeah.
he will wear a wig.
Yeah, so that's who we are for those of you who haven't been around a lot or with us for since inception of She back in March of 2023. And that's how you can leverage a team to become part of the future generational wealth and building time back for yourself.
I love that, Candace, and I would love to piggyback on that because that's exactly so. When I first learned about you can invest in multifamily, and instead of owning one house, you can own the whole apartment building. First of all, I was, oh my gosh, that's when my third eye opened, and I was like, wow. But second, the second thing that I realized was I'm not gonna be able to do it. So there's no way. So first of all, you need a lot of, so first of all, you need the network to buy the properties. You need to have the balance sheets. You need to understand what you're doing. Underwriting these deals is nothing close to buying a house or buying a piece of land that I was used to. This is a completely different underwriting. The loan itself is a monster. So it was overwhelming, but I was like, wait a minute, I'm not gonna be able to do it on my own. I need to leverage somebody. And that was like the only thing that was in my mind. I need to leverage somebody who is willing to help me get where I want to get, and I can add value where I am with what I have. And of course, I invested most all of us, the 3 of us, and the principals themselves. Like we invest our own money in these deals to build the relation. I came to Mike, and most of you have heard my story. I met Mike, and I was like, I want to get in multifamily. So we started working together. The first thing that I did was like, here, I want to invest in one of our properties. So he knew that I was serious, I was committed, and I was drinking the Kool-Aid. when I tell people we're in this together, is because I have my own money invested, and all of us, that's how we start. We invest to build a relationship, to get to know the sponsor team. And is that somebody who I want to work in the long term? Is this somebody who I trust, who I see doing deals in the future? So that's what, that's what everything is about, leverage. Like, do I find in them what I don't have? Like, I will never be able to compete with this guy, with Sharar and Sanchez underwriting. Like, my left brain doesn't work, but they have a skill set that I don't have, and I can add value to them in a different way. So that's how we are able to take down all these big deals. Just wanted to add that because it can be overwhelming, but it's possible. Candace, back to you.
Well, I just want to say, before we move on to the next uh, reason why real estate is such a great investment is, do you currently make money while you sleep? Because for 50 some years, I had to trade time for dollars. Even though I owned my own business, I still had to physically be there. I still had to manage people. I still had to manage clients. So business ownership doesn't give you necessarily freedom of your time, although it may increase the number of zeros you bring home into the bank account every, particular year. Real estate was the light bulb moment for me when I realized this is how the money makes babies. And the other question I always like to throw out there too is, who's in your network that you can leverage? Because your network is your net worth. I stole that from Grant Cardone. And it's true. It's absolutely true.
I see so many powerhouse ladies here.
I
Like,
know. I'm loving
a
it.
big part of Shein is like, you need something, and there's so many powerhouse ladies here that we can leverage. So we can call and be like, hey, I have a problem with this. I need this. Do you know somebody who can help me? Or, of course, we can help you if you have a retirement account or cash shooting. But all beyond that, like being part of this network. So all of that question. Tell us in the chat, who can you leverage in your network? Do you have a circle of people? Sometimes, like, you are the only one in your family who's thinking about real estate and investing, and if you talk about that with your house, like, what's wrong with you? So do you have that, people? Tell us the good and the ugly.
Oh, Diane, I'm picking on you because I love you, girl. Because I think you can leverage this for sure. If you invested in a deal or in a team, you can leverage that, girlfriend. You can. Um, you can do that
Yeah.
for
Well,
sure.
it has been a little discouraging because I have attended several networks and exchanged numbers and even asked, hey, can you take me, on your next door knocking, or we can all meet, and it would just like one guy had, I mean, he was up front. He's like, I don't do that. That's a W-2 job.
Mm.
And I'm like,
So
oh, okay, that's all right. I respect that, you know.
it's a
And
single family, right, Diane?
yeah, for single family. Yeah. And I'm
So
like,
maybe you can use it as a stepping stone. Now that you've
yeah,
invested in that, you can leverage that. You've invested in single family. Now you got to jump up to multifamily.
yeah. Well, that's why I've been kind of watching and attending. It's just that I'm at a standstill because, I even took a HELOC loan on my
Hmm.
house, and I'm still paying that puppy off, and
Yeah.
financially I'm strapped, you know.
Yeah.
And it's irritating and frustrating. But had I been much wiser, I could have used my HELOC on a down payment on another house, and rented that out. And then I would have had, you know, I felt I would have built myself some stream of income, and I could have done a little bit more. And anyway, I'm learning. it's a learning curve.
It is, for
And
sure.
I just, should have rethought that because
Oh
it just
no.
went
No,
south.
you know what? You're not rethinking it because every
Mhm.
investment has helped you and it's given you a step to be here. Because you wouldn't have met
Mhm.
us and been on this call tonight had you not made that investment in whatever
Mhm.
group that was. Think about it. Because you wouldn't have
Yeah.
met that person introduced you to Trevor, who probably introduced you
Yeah,
to
it
here.
was Trevor. And he
I
met me on the
mean,
night when I was like, that was my last attending meeting, and I was gonna
exactly.
give it my last shot, and then
I
we
mean,
just
it was your Hail
clicked.
Mary. And then you met
Yeah.
me. And then you're like, crap, Maria's gonna like tell me what to do. But that's how it is. Because honestly, Diane,
Yeah.
I've invested over $100,000 into my education. And when I think about how much I could have invested into real estate, into these deals, I
Yeah.
really do want to kick myself sometimes. But then I
Yep.
think about all the people, all the connections that I've made, all of that those relationships that I
Mhm.
can leverage and all of those
Mhm.
teams and powerful people that I can leverage to help me get even further. And then I remember that I am here today because of those mentorships and because of all
Mhm.
that money I've spent. And I do,
Mhm.
it is a kick to the bank account when I look at it and I'm like, what am I going to eat for dinner tonight? No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. But still, it's
Yeah.
hard. But I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking today because of it. I live in Indiana. You would have never, ever talked to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I guess for me, it's like the couple that I joined under, um, the last conversation was sour. She goes,
I
"Oh, so
understand.
and so knocked on the door, and you could do it." She sent me a text, and I never heard from her again. I was like, "Okay, thank you for mentoring me there," And anyway, I just bottom
I'm
line
gonna
it.
force you, Diane. I'm gonna force you to turn it into a positive because
No,
you
I
can
am.
leverage it. You're gonna leverage it as a way to not help someone else one day. I promise you. I
Yeah,
promise you.
yeah,
And
and
that's
then
why,
go ahead.
yeah, thank you, Diane. And that's why we say like it's so important who you're investing with, whatever mentorship. There are 1 million mentorships that you can join out there. Just make sure
Mhm.
it's what you're looking for, and that is gonna fast track your goals instead of setting you behind. I'm gonna jump really quick. We're over time now.
Mhm.
And one of the benefits about real estate is the tax benefits on this particular property. It's amazing. If you guys need tax depreciation for 2023, this is a great property because next year the cost segregation is gonna drop to only 60% of your investment. So if you need tax benefits for this year, you can still do 80%, and I know that's very confusing at it, but if you're looking for tax depreciation, this is a great opportunity. Book a call with us. We're happy to help you because at the end of the year we're gonna give you a K1. You just turn it to your CPA and they do all the magic. So if you have an exit of insurance settlement, sold the business, sold the property, and you need tax depreciations, book a call with us. I put the link on the chat. Um, and I'm gonna skip this because we are over time and we have amazing, exciting.
Yes, this is my favorite part.
Maria,
Okay,
Maria, this is your
so
part.
this is my favorite thing, and I get super excited, and I will talk fast because of how excited I am. So we can talk about this at another time. So I will force you all to book a call with me about it. So I don't know how much you guys know about IRAs. It's sometimes it goes right over my head, but I learned this 2 weeks ago from my friends at Directed IRA because I didn't know what I didn't know. So that means I had to call the experts and I had to ask the questions because I thought when you invested in IRA, it was a one-way thing, kind of like this one line at the top. You just had an IRA and you moved it to a property and that was it. And then these guys, they told me, no, Maria, you can combine all of your IRAs into one account. And I said, well, tell me more. So I don't know about you guys, but when I was first getting started, I changed my jobs a lot. So I have a lot of small 401ks that can do absolutely nothing for me. So I
I
can
feel you on that one, Maria.
Thank you. I'm glad I feel seen tonight. So what you can do is you can combine all of these small 401ks into one LLC. And if you have kids that you've been putting in a savings account for them for their college fund, you can put their college fund into this account. You can also put other investment types into this LLC account, and you can also fund with actual money into this LLC account. And then you can invest that account into a property. So let's say you wanted to put that into Horizon, and then you start getting returns. The returns will go back to that LLC and then distribute it to all of your accounts. So if you have 10 accounts into one investment, it will distribute it all nicely into those 10 accounts. So you don't have to do any math, which if you've heard my story, you know that I failed math in college and I don't like to do math. So I like to have it all be done for me. Now, again, as I've said many, many times, I am not a CPA or financial advisor. So I would book a call with Directed IRA or with us, and we can help you get set up with that because there are so many ways to invest. Do not let your money sit in these accounts because there's so much money sitting in IRAs and 401ks. I think it's in the billions, almost trillions. Trillions. Thank you, Jasmine. It's sad, guys. And you can help your kids start investing. You can help them understand what it means to invest. And this is the coolest way to do it that I have learned to date. So I told you I get too excited and
So
talk fast.
powerful, ladies. I just want to highlight if you have a college fund for your kids, imagine, right?
I love it.
If you're able to put that money into real estate, oh my, that's
Especially
amazing.
since you
We're
can't
super
invest unless you're
excited.
18, but you can this way.
Yes, super
I love it.
excited. If you have questions, you can scan the QR code there, book a call with us, talk to us. We're on the WhatsApp group, we're on the Facebook group. We can help you. So super excited for that. A special announcement. We're gonna be in Orlando. Maggie is here. She's gonna help me co-host on a brunch in Orlando. Please connect with me, send me a DM. We're gonna disclose everything, but it's gonna be November 3rd, Saturday, right? I'm tripping here, but I think it's Saturday, November 3rd or 2nd, the Saturday. The first Saturday in Orlando. So if you're in Florida, let us know so we can connect and we love to meet you in person. Another one, we have one brunch coming up in Austin, Texas. For those who were here last webinar, we have the powerhouse Shanoa Grove, and she is so kind to open her house for sheep. And we're gonna have a brunch in her house. Please, if you want to join, of course we are not gonna blast her address and all the details in the public. But everybody here in this call is invited. If you're in Austin, let us know. If you're in Orlando, let us know so we can come to you. Okay, yes, November 2nd. Thank you so much. And that's it. Remember to join us next week. And we're over time, but hope you guys got value. Thank you so much. Any last words, ladies?
No, just looking forward to seeing you all in person or meeting you
Can't wait.
through a Zoom meeting.
Yes, exactly. Congrats to those investing. And if you have any more questions, please book a call. We love you all, and we hope to see you again soon.
I
Thank you,
see a
ladies.
lot of the ladies who have invested with us today here, so I want to shout out. I see Megana, I see Marty's who has invested. Help me here, ladies. But
Got
thank you
Natasha. We've
so much,
got
Natasha. Yeah, you guys been
and
investors.
Rosa today. Woo!
Yes, and Rosa is the newest investor. Oh, thank you so much, ladies. Have a good night. Have fun. Be safe out there and talk to us if you have questions. If you want to take this conversation further. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Night. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Maria.
Bye, Diane. I put my
Bye.
information in. You better call me.
Okay.